Welcome everyone, Joe with ECRM here at our on and off premise adult beverage session in Vegas. With me is Kaleigh from NIQ, who gave a great presentation yesterday to kick things off. And one of the things she talked about was no booze, right? Non-alcoholic adult beverages. And we're gonna get into what's happening in that space. So thanks for joining us. And to start off, I mean, this is a segment that's been growing really quickly over the past few years. Where are we at now with them?
Yeah, so non-alcohol products are really unique, and we track those that are sort of replicating that alcohol-containing experience. And they've been growing double digits since pre-pandemic, and then I think during the pandemic, when a lot of us were at home, we might have consumed a little more than what we were intending to for alcohol. And that resulted in some people looking for alternatives to alcohol, but still feeling like they're a part of the party.
Yeah.
And non-alcohol beer, wine, and spirits products fit that perfectly. Non-alcohol beer is definitely the largest out of the three different segments that fall within that. And there are a couple of historical brands that are still lingering around, and I like to think of them as those golf course beers or something that your grandfather might have drank in some way.
Is that like the O'Douls?
Yeah,
like the
ones
that have been around forever?
Those iconic non-alcohol brands that have been around. But what we're starting to get into is non-alcohol beer brands that really do a good job of replicating the full flavor experience that you would get out of drinking a beer.
Okay.
And so a number of brands have found success here, and they're not only established brands that have launched a non-alcohol variety, but we see some brands breaking into some of those top spots from coming from nothing, and they're a new brand into this alcohol industry, which can be a challenge.
Yeah, we've seen them exploding among our participants at our sessions and other brands that are on Range Me. For example, one of them started as, she was a restaurant owner, and actually I could say the name, Blind Tiger Spirit Free Cocktails. She was a restaurant owner, had a speakeasy style restaurant, but she noticed that a lot of her customers were asking for non-alcoholic versions of the cocktails. And so she launched her own brand, and now it's doing very well. She's in a lot of retailers. She, has RTD cans, and it's just, and she's not the only one. Last year, AF Drinks, they were the Buyer's Choice Award winner for innovation. So it's just, it's not a fad. It's something that's here to stay, and it seems that it's getting a lot more innovative over the years.
Yeah, and I love that you called it out as not being a fad, because a lot of times people think about these products as being, they're dry January drink. But what we're seeing is that sales they peak in dry January, but then they continue to climb throughout the remainder of the year. And in some of those top holidays, like 4th of July, we see a bump in non-alcohol sales. And then those year-end holidays, when people tend to drink a little bit more when they're in those celebratory occasions, they're actually leaning into some non-alcohol products.
Yeah, and some of the flavors, like you mentioned, some of the flavors mimic alcoholic beverages. Some of them are completely unique new flavors. Like there's another brand, Cirilla. She does actually RTDs, but also she's on tap at some restaurants.
Yeah.
And right next to, where the booze is, they're selling beers and they're selling her drink. And, because her theory, and when she talked to the restaurants, is why should you just have soda?
Yeah.
You could have all of these. So she refers to her drinks as a non-alcoholic social beverage.
Yeah. And that's really what it is that consumers are leaning into these products not because they want a sober lifestyle, but a couple of the top reasons for choosing non-alcohol is people liking the flavors of these products, and the other one is feeling like they're still a part of the party.
Yeah.
So you can hold that non-alcohol cocktail, and you're not only looking like you might be enjoying it and, cheersing with everybody, but you're also drinking a beverage that tastes really good in a lot of cases.
And it's part of the moderation thing too, because like you mentioned, I think the stat was 93% of non-alcoholic product buyers are still buying alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, they are. And that's what tells us, too, that it's not a fad. It's consumers that are adding these products into their repertoire. So if we think about all the products that we drink across beer, wine, and spirits, they're adding them in as an additional option. So when an occasion pops up and it's, maybe the middle of the week and somebody doesn't want to consume that cocktail in the evening, they can opt for a non-alcohol cocktail and not have, the impacts of drinking alcohol. And then we also see people leaning into the idea of kind of moderating through switching back and forth. So in the on-premise, sometimes consumers will have a beer that's full alcohol, and then they'll switch to a non-alcohol beer to sort of maintain their control. And I like to consider that a little bit in the on-premise of like a fourth quarter drink.
Okay.
Is like a beer. So you want to like slow down your consumption so you're able to then head home after like the game you might be watching in that bar or restaurant. And so a non-alcohol option is really good for a consumer, but it's also good for the operators too, because they're still getting the margin on the products instead of just a water.
So I wonder if Justin Timberlake is going to start switching to non-alcoholic beverages.
It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad to look into that. For all of us to remain responsible with our consumption. I think that's definitely top of mind for a number of consumers.
Now that would be a good marketing thing. You're right. So you have a lot of celebrities launching, alcohol brands. He should launch a non-alcoholic brand.
It could be an option. We see celebrities.
Timing-wise, it's perfect for him.
We see celebrities launching. I mean, I feel like there's a celebrity tequila coming out pretty often, and I know we weren't going the celebrity route, but I love that we're headed this route because they're really popular, and sometimes they draw new consumers into products that they wouldn't normally have. But there's only a couple of celebrity non-alcohol brands out there, and so there's still potential for something like that.
And he could actually have his mugshot on the bottle from his DWI.
I feel like it's following the Snoop Dogg route now.
There you go.
With his path.
Awesome. So where do you see this going? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's as saturated as RTDs. I think there's a lot of room for growth. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, over the next couple of years, we expect that non-alcohol products in the off-premise will reach $1 billion in the channels that we track. But we also know that these products can sell outside of the 3-tier system. We would love for everything in the alcohol industry to definitely be 3-tier compliant, but they have the ability to sell direct to consumer and through sites like Amazon. So I think the growth is even more explosive probably than what we have to tap into. But this idea of moderation and trending towards, better for you options or that health and wellness is top of mind for consumers, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So ensuring that these products are available at the shelf, ensuring that they're available on menus as alternatives in a bar or restaurant is definitely a positive trend that I think we'll continue to see. It's almost impossible to sit down at a bar or restaurant nowadays and not see one non-alcohol alternative on there.
Yeah, definitely. So awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, Joe.